Tell me something, girl. Are you tired of living in this modern world?
Yeah, we're recording, man, so we're live.
Or do you need more? I'm just kidding. Woo! Hello, darkness, my old friend. Welcome back to Jordan's room. I'm here with Jacko.
What's up, baby?
We're just vibing. Obviously, lockdown at the moment, so
we have to socially distance in the office, which means Isaac's working from home today.
Yeah.
Scope's working from home today. Checo's working from home. Lukey's working from home. Caleb's working from home.
Everyone's working from home, man.
Fuck, we'll get some content if it was just you and I.
Yeah,
man.
bro, content king.
That's Checo now.
That's Checo, yeah. Oh, course.
What's been going on, man?
Man, life update, bro, just, man, obviously just with this whole COVID situation in Sydney at the moment, I've just been chilling with baby girl. Working from home, trying to come up with sort of different content ideas that I can incorporate during this lockdown period, but it's just really nothing just hits, you know.
Have you been painting, or is it just like because you've been posting a lot of painting?
Yeah, no, I've been waiting on. I've got this like 10-meter canvas roll coming through. I'm waiting for a few pieces to be sent out. So that's been a bit of a process because the guy that usually wraps them all and everything for me, he's obviously with COVID, he can't do any of that.
Why did you do why do you sell them, or why did you do them stretched on wood like in the first place? Why don't you just do them rolled up?
Well, bro, that's just like growing pains, right? When you start like your own little business. Like,
seems like a fucking
overheads.
dumb idea.
Well, like fuck, I didn't realize.
You were just like, oh, how do they look mad?
At the start, it just blew up. It just went bang, and then like 20, 30 pieces, and then when you go and take them to get them when you go to take them to get them wrapped and everything like that, they're like, oh yeah, that's $300 each, and you're just like,
beauty, I charge them $20
holy
shipping.
cunt. You're like, holy shit. So now that there's probably like 4 pieces that need to get sent out, so once those are finally gone, then I'm going to be doing everything unstretched. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I've got a lot of new ideas coming up. Also as well, with me and a friend of mine, we've booked in we're going to have an art exhibition. He's a photographer, so we're going to be putting his work in there. Going to put obviously my work in there. We're just looking for a space at the moment in the eastern suburbs.
Sick. So
we'll probably do like a pop-up shop for 2 weeks. Try throw a really mad little event depending on COVID. If COVID's still a situation where you can't like have certain numbers and shit, then we're not going to do it.
Fuck, you get Caleb out to vlog it as well.
Man, it'll be mad. Yeah, we'll do a whole vlog process. I spoke to Ice about it.
You run like our own version of like painted Jordan tees back again as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'll be mad. And I'm going to do a live
those were
painting
sick, but like
there.
we could do them so much better now.
Oh, so much
now
better, yeah.
with like the blocks that we have and shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Fucking sick.
100%. So I'm going to do a live painting there as well. Get some music cranking.
Little nude sketch or?
Yeah, a few wines. Bit of grouse. But yeah, that's about it, man. And just been chilling with baby girl. It's weird during lockdown, right? When you meet someone, it's sort of...
Did you meet during lockdown or like just before,
Just before, like not too long ago.
Because for reasons we can't quite disclose yet, I was very against this initially, wasn't I?
Yeah, everyone was. But the heart wants what the heart wants, man. And
very
you can't
Romeo
fight
and Juliet-esque, you know?
It is very... This is literally the modern day Romeo and Juliet. This is the modern day Romeo and Juliet, but it's you sort of like because of COVID, it's like, you're gonna go one way or the other, right? You're gonna have to like do lockdown together, and you almost get to see what type like how someone reacts to certain things. We actually haven't argued or anything like that, so you know, who knows what the future holds. But yeah, it's been pretty weird. Like it'd be nice to go and take her out on a date, and you know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe take her away at Hunter Valley, you know, a little wine tour, fucking little air balloon ride or something like that, something cute like that.
Something nice and cheap.
Oh, if you know the right people, that's sweet. But
I was saying it to you this morning, bro. I've never seen anyone stretch $1 like you. So if you want to have the ideal weekend away on a budget, that could probably be your next.
Man, what I'm thinking, bro, is like I'd I'm like romantic. I'm a romantic cunt like that. Like I'll like in my mind, I'm like, hey, I want to take Shorty to New Zealand, little Bay of Islands, little seaplane over to,
Little Great Barrier Island, something like that.
yeah, something special like that. Take her to Queenstown, maybe Christchurch, little deer hunting.
Maybe Papakura. Get some satay noodles.
Maybe, yeah, maybe, bro. I'm going there. I'm going satay.
Bro, I've never seen
satay noodle house.
A South Auckland noodle house. Like we crave it,
bro. I watch his stories, man. Like I can't wait to go there and just have a massive feed and just vibe out there. I'm gonna vlog the whole trip. So
I'm gonna take him a new jacket too, because that fucking windbreaker's copping a hammer.
Well, yeah, bro. I'm excited to go back to there. But yeah, once the borders reopen, man, I'm gonna say, baby girl, hey, let's go back to New Zealand.
What about a little combo fried rice? Let's do it.
Take her back to New Zealand, take her to South Auckland, then go introduce her to the white side of the family. Go see the South Auckland family, then go see the white family, and then, go for a little holiday. Why not?
Serious, Simi, eh?
Yeah, why not, bro? When you meet someone that you want to do that shit for, then why not?
You do seem like you're in a good place, mate. Like I said that to you yesterday, and I know you wanted to you get a lot of messages, sort of mental health related stuff. So I'm going to sort of steer you in that direction now, because I know you're in a good place. So you're probably in a better place now to talk about that sort of stuff than you were maybe even like
a few months
ago.
Yeah, a month ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man, it's
like you personally to start with, like where, like mental health wise, where are you at the moment? Like, because when I say you're looking good, I don't know, obviously.
Yeah. Well, no, mental health wise, like, I tell you everything. I message you all the time, early hours in the morning.
Yeah, it's torture. Yeah.
So
But they're for you, bro. They're for you.
Yeah. Thank you. I think everyone goes through like their own battles in life. As Ice was saying in that meeting, there's like that
the pendulum.
The pendulum, where you're like, the universe always brings you back to center. So I feel like, I was, partying a lot, and I still do, which is sweet, but at certain times. But
you know what you've gotten better at even since I've been here is pulling the handbrake up a bit earlier. You can still party with the best of them, but you know when to rip it up. And
well, yeah, it's funny, man, because ever since this opportunity came into play, and then obviously, you don't want to come and scat, you want to be organized and stuff. So it's almost finding that purpose to pull you up. But
yeah, I suppose like you probably never had that, like.
Nah, well, I've always,
for a while there,
I was painting, and then fucking that was like, I'd stay in the garage for fucking 3 days straight, and then paint all these paintings, and then
didn't make sense to pull up on a bendy. Like, why?
Yeah, why? I've got nothing. I'm just gonna go paint in the garage, and be scat anyway. So it all added to it, but like it found a bit of purpose with this, and it's hard. Like I wanted to open up because so many. Obviously, YKTR has such a male-dominated presence. So a lot of people, when Chico and I spoke about it, and then I brought it up a little while ago, I always get these messages from followers that are going through certain situations in their life, and they ask for help. And I mean, to say that I'm not really the right person to ask for help is like accurate, because I'm not a professional, but I think I wanted to share a bit of my own story, how I've dealt with things in my own life in certain situations that I've struggled with. There's always going to be struggles there, but I wanted to just put into perspective, because in New Zealand, as I don't know if you know this or not, but New Zealand has like one of the highest suicide rates in the world per capita. So it's like, I would love to use this platform, obviously, to be a rat bag, but
it's weird, New Zealand, like on that pendulum, like you always see, those stupid fucking surveys, which are like the most happy or livable countries in the world. And New Zealand's always like second or third, and then at the other end of the spectrum, suicide rates.
It's heartbreaking, man. Yeah. It's heartbreaking because, as well, it's a lot of like the Maldives and Islanders over there, kids over there, because there's kids that get moved over from such a young age where English is like their second language, or their family moved over here, so they don't have the best opportunities or best start at life, because it's just a different environment, and you're just you're thrown into the deep end, and you got to provide, and there's really, like in New Zealand, it's the culture over there is like,
I think like the support network maybe isn't.
Yeah, it's definitely not there.
Yeah,
and in the island, like I remember as a kid, you're not really, well, in the where I grew up, you don't even know how to ask for help. You don't even think it's actually a thing.
Yeah, what you always circle back to, and you and Checo touched on it, is like you coming on your podcast and talking about it. Like, you're not going to solve all the world's problems, but your point is like, let's fucking talk about it, create a bit of awareness so that there's not another 10-year-old Jordan Simi who doesn't know how to fucking put his hand up.
Well, I think my motivation behind all of this is obviously there's personal gain for me. But at the end of this, I think my reason for being here is to help other people. So that's a part of my motivation why I want to do this to the best of my ability, is because I would love to have a massive effect on my community back in New Zealand, and obviously like kids in Australia as well. But so for me, it's like, it starts from doing this, talking about it now, and then, hopefully the message gets through to some other people that might want to jump on board and create it from there. Why not, And
people probably don't see the side of you a lot, but like Chico touched on it, like for every fucking giggle conversation that we have, and there's a few, like you do enjoy, but you're very open with, like, if you're feeling shit, you come in and say, hey, I'm feeling shit. This is why. This is, how I deal with it. Blah, blah, blah. So when you say you're getting messages, what sort of messages are you getting?
Well, so there was a message, for sure. There was a message a little while ago that a guy was sort of reached out, and he had a loss. Someone close to him, I think it was a family member close to him, had committed suicide. And that was sort of like and he's sort of just like, thanks, man. He's like, I'm 21. I'm, your content stuff, YKTR, you guys make me laugh. And he's like, your comments and shit like that.
Bro, that means so much more than sales as well. Like,
man, honestly, it was like
you would rather get that message than sell fucking 1,000 Jordan's room teams.
Yeah,
like.
but I was sort of sitting there. I was just like, fuck, like, I think you put so much content out there that you forget that one thing can actually help sway someone else's life, which is cool. It was a pretty surreal thing. When he said that to me, it was like, it would be like an honor to be able to affect people's lives, and that's sort of where I've been. That's my massive motivator. But yeah, that was a story that hit home, and then I've got guys that are sort of around my same age group in the late 20s, and they're talking about.
You're 35, but yeah, come on.
I'm 40.
No one knows how old you are.
I'm fucking 29.
No, he's not.
I'm 29, and you've seen my fucking driver's license. But like people talking about finding their purpose, and obviously people saying that they're lonely, and so all these certain things are like, they've been just weighing up on my mind, and I wanted to touch base on like my own personal situations that I've gone through in life.
Yeah, go for it.
Because I find at such a young age, that you can, like, certain situations in your life are so heavy on your shoulders that you think that it's potentially like, is this as good as it's going to get? You know what I mean? And
what specifically, like when you say you've been through it, you don't have to.
Yeah, well, no, I don't mind, man. Honestly, I don't mind, because I feel like if I want people to go out and look for help and talk about it, then I've got to obviously talk about it. Like, I'll tell you a little story. It's pretty deep. Should I go deep?
Yeah, fuck it. It's your podcast, man. Do what you want.
Man. It's deep as, bro. It's deep as.
Yeah, go
and
for
this sort of changed my life. And potentially if this helps one or two people, then I'm glad I talked about it. I mean, before I moved over, it's fucking deep, man. Before I moved over from New Zealand, this is so deep. It's funny, but it's not funny, but it's
laughing through the pain.
Yeah, fuck, man. It pulls on the heartstrings. When I was would have been about 14, just before I moved over from New Zealand. My uncle, he committed suicide, and I was pretty much there when he did it. I found him with another person that was close to our family, and that whole process.
Oh, you found him. Like you
found him. Yeah, he.
Were you guys close? I said,
yeah. He was my dad's half brother.
Yeah.
So he was the same, 2 years older than me, but we pretty much grew up together like brothers. Yeah. Like he lived with us. So that whole situation for myself changed my whole life in regards to the way you think. Like just that certain situation, and this is more towards people who are going through their own struggle with, having suicidal thoughts and like thinking in that way, because in one case it's potentially like a not an easy way out, but it's a way out personally, but then the pain that it leaves behind, it's like it's a destroyer of like family, it's a destroyer of like worlds.
How long since that incident did it kind of take you to like even talk about it? Like, did you even?
Well, I went to counselling because it just fucked me.
Yeah.
Like it like just when you lose someone, but then when the idea of suicide and stuff never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But to see someone do that so close to me as well, it just opens up a whole different thought process. Like, holy shit! Like, what is this?
Yeah. Why didn't I understand that?
Yeah. I was like, and then being, as I said, from where I'm from in South Auckland, you don't know how to communicate with people. You're consistently told to like man up and be this certain way. So it was hard to talk to someone about it. But in that time, it was like it was just a scary time because it was like uncharted waters. So when that all went down, it just left a lot of you leave a lot of questions behind. Like, what if if I had spoken to that person, and if I had listened to him more or
reached out
and it scars you for life. So in regards to people that potentially might come across this and go that might be thinking this, I think the best way to look at it is you have to think about the sadness and pain that it leaves people, because it doesn't leave. Like it never leaves my mind. Like it's always that, there's always that hurt that's going to be there.
How do you deal with it now?
How I deal with it now is
Is it like this? Like we have conversations like this?
Yeah. I mean, I've spoken to it to people that are close to my circle, but I think how I deal with it is by living and being grateful for like certain opportunities, certain times. Like I think Scope said it. Like you can't be grateful for like summer if it's never cold. You know what I mean? So I always try and no matter what situation I'm in, I always try to be like, okay, cool. Like this isn't the worst situation that I'm gonna come into in my life.
I've been through the worst situation.
So it's like I try and talk about it more, but at the end of the day, it's always there in the back of my mind. And then we moved over here, and that's there was still all those fucking what if questions. And then one of my best mates actually committed suicide as well. When I was living in Perth.
Oh yeah.
And then that whole situation was fucked. It sort of tore our friendship circle apart. And then, fast forward a year or whatever, and I ended up taking off to the mines and just living in the desert for like 3 years in Kalgoorlie.
Like you've done some random jobs, man.
Bro, I
didn't know that.
I literally just jumped in this guy's ute, and we just went up to Kalgoorlie, and I just lived in the desert for like 3 years, like literally bang smack in the desert. And that was a time sort of like, it was weird because I had an amazing job and stuff, but it felt like I was like hiding from, because
you weren't dealing with anything. You were just
sticking
just your head in a mine. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was supposed to be playing rugby and, and then, then one of my best mates passed away, and then that smashed up, hurt me again, and then so it was like the dealing process was obviously lengthy, but as I was saying, it was more just like, trying to understand it was the hardest thing. So, you know, and I get the messages from people saying, you know, that they're in this mind frame. So I feel like
now you can say, "Fuck, this is how you."
Yeah, well, I mean, no, the mind frame of like people even saying like they're suicidal and shit.
Jesus.
So it's like, fuck. Okay, well, the best way I could say deal with it is like speak to someone, go out and actually want to talk to someone about it. Remove things that potentially bring negative thoughts to your mind.
You are good at that. Like if something's like a sort of a dark cloud, whether it's a person or anything like that, you're pretty good nowadays. I would assume you probably haven't always been, but now you just fucking brush it.
Yeah, exactly.
Grateful, boom, move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then also as well, I mean, if you're in that mind frame, you've got to think about the people that it's going to affect around you. Because sometimes people think, oh, I've got nobody, I'm alone. But there's always one person. Yeah. And if it's going to affect one person, then you shouldn't do it. You need to be, so sorry to go so deep, but I just get these messages all the time, and I just think
it's a change of pace. I wasn't expecting this
morning. To be honest, like I get these messages all the time, and because it's so close to home, it really fucks with me, because I'm thinking like, okay, well, if I don't message this person back, what if they hurt themselves? Or so it would be an amazing, I think there's just this opportunity to talk about it and then it go out to a wider range of people would be fucking grouse, because it could just change one person's way of thinking, you know? Yeah. So if it changes one person, 100 people, then I'm happy with that, you know?
Go on, bro.
So
there you go. Deep, Simi.
Yeah, bro. Fuck, this is going to be I had to hold back the tears, man.
This is hard to talk about. At least you get sunnies.
I'm fucking shaking.
This is going to be the most awkward change of pace ever, because I wanted to finish with a bit of Q&A. And
no, it's all good. No, we know, like, this is Jordan's room, you know what I mean? It's fucked up.
There's no natural way to segue into this first question.
Nah, sweet. Okay, well, like, before we swap over to that, like, obviously, you know,
we have a laugh,
this is Jordan's room, so we're willy-nilly, but I wanted to talk about that because I get these messages here and there, and it fucks with me sometimes, because I'm like, shit, what do I say? Yeah. So that's about that, you know.
You're very lucky that you have a platform where you can do that.
Exactly.
As well,
so and I think it would be a bad sport of me if I wasn't to talk about it, because
you got to practice what you preach, man.
Yeah. Fucking oath.
Yeah.
Fucking oath. All right, let's get naughty. Let's get fucking naughty, man.
Again, thank you to everyone who does send in questions. Email me, jackson@yktr.com.au. Chuck Jordan Simi in the subject line. I apologies, I haven't got to so many people, but we're going to try rip through as many as we can here, Geordie. Again, off the back of what you've just spoke about, there's no natural way.
Well, it is what it is, man.
It is what it is. These are obviously all anonymous and respectfully, as we always are, Simi. The first one asks, Geordie, my love life with the missus sucks. We're only a year and a half in, but I'll be lucky if we get it twice a week. I love her to bits, but I feel a bit weird about the whole situation. I'm a horny dog. What's doing? Tough question. Essentially, he's got a girlfriend, been together 18 months, loves her to bits, isn't happy with how much sex they're having. What's the answer?
Okay, well, you got to look at it this way: is, you know, potentially
twice a week's not bad numbers.
Twice a week, yeah, that's kiddies.
That's rookie numbers.
That's rookie numbers, man. But respectfully, I think you've got to go. You got to look at it this way, right? I feel like if you put it on yourself to improve it, so you got to think about: is the sex good? Is she enjoying the sex?
Obviously not.
Like, you know, sometimes fucking guys can get just horny and greedy, and you know, and just you've got to make her feel special. You've got to make her feel wanted. You got to potentially take her out for a few dinner dates. You know, I'd look at it like this: if things are getting boring, maybe a bit of role play. Like, you go out with your friends, I go out with my friends. We pretend like we don't know each other.
The old stranger meetup.
Yeah, and I'm gonna come and hit on you, and it's up to you if you want to take me home or not. You know,
beauty. She brushes, yeah.
She brushes, yeah. But then that's the part of like, okay, cool. Well,
the chase is on.
I'm gonna have to hit you over the head with a club and drag you home. Sorry, but yeah, you've just got to look at it that way, man, and just try and see if she might not even, she might be tired from work. She might be. Not in the mood. So how do you change the mood? What are you doing now that's leading up to those 2 times a week? Man, take her out on a few dates, spice things up.
Spice things up rolls very nicely into our second question. It's short, sharp, one you've kind of touched on before, but hey, Geordie, female listener here. I'm in a good relationship, but the sex life is boring. I'm a bit of a freak. Best tips to freshen shit up without scaring him off? That's a good question.
I think just transparency is key.
Yeah.
If you're a freak, you've just got to. I feel like a female should be able to talk about how they feel sexually.
Yeah,
and
of course.
If a guy doesn't look at it as a turn on, that she's comfortable enough to express those feelings,
insecure as a dome,
then you're with the wrong guy. Or if he's not going to open himself up to do things that turn you on, then get out of there, sis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking get rough. Slap his face if you have to. I don't know, just take control. But yeah, that's just a conversation you have to have. Just say, hey, listen, like, could be a bit of pillow talk. I always find pillow talk's the best time to
You always say that's a good way
shit.
To introduce shit like that. Because you can just start small,
Yeah. I'm grateful for this podcast as well, because it sort of cuts out the nerds from the freaks for me.
Yeah.
Because any girl that I've dated will always refer to my podcast. So then they know what they're getting themselves into.
There's no surprises.
There's no surprises. So
his advice is get a podcast, basically.
Exactly. Or just hey, let's listen to Jordan's Room while you're fucking driving.
Well, I fuck it up.
Exactly. So you just gotta be transparent straight off the bat.
I also low-key that freestyle that we've still got in the bank at some point is getting released.
Bro, do not release that or I'll quit.
Fuck, man. That's literally the worst freestyle I've ever heard in my life.
Well, fucking...
My notebook is just full of your shitty bars that you wrote down.
Bro, bars of doom.
Two more questions, bro. This one's a bit of a long one, so stay with me here. But it's a good question, I think. Jordan, one of my best mate's younger sisters keeps sexting me and telling me to come over for a session. I'm unsure what to do as she is a good sort and I've been keen on her for a little bit.
Hold up. A session?
Yeah.
What is this?
Come over for a session.
Personal training session, a Tadeo session.
I think he...
fucking...
I think he goes on to clarify it. He says, I've been keen on her for a little bit, but on the other hand, he's been my best mate for nearly 9 years. Should I let him know beforehand if I decide to pursue her, or should I just steer clear altogether? I'd like to hear what you would do if you were in my shoes. Best mate's younger sister, little weapon, keen on you.
I've been in this situation myself.
I'd be shocked if you hadn't.
So shout out to Levi. Thank you, grateful. From some of the best years of my life, man. It really depends, right, on what type of person you are. If
he's looking at it 2 ways, bro. He's looking at doing the sneaky or having a conversation with the bro.
Nah, don't do the sneaky. Yeah. I did the sneaky.
Of course you did.
And
coward doesn't want to have a conversation. But you just had a 20-minute podcast about you got to be open and talk. I did the sneaky.
Well, man, I was 16.
Yeah,
I was 16. So, but, I told him straight away pretty much. But I think you have to have that conversation at the start.
How do you have it?
But as a friend, do you see this long term?
Yeah,
is this just like a naughty night? Because if it's just like a one night type of thing, then I don't think pursue it because it's gonna ruin your friendship.
There's a million girls if you
There's nothing worse than dicking down a sister and then you fucking you've had your fun and then she's had her fun and it just ruins the friendship. You can't go over and play fucking Halo. You can't go over and play Call of Duty. It's all online now.
You're not getting invited over for Sunday dinners anymore.
Sunday dinners. Mum's not calling you son no more.
Ugh.
Dad hates you. So it just ruins the the vibe. So if it's a long-term thing, I'd say, hey, listen, I like your sister. I'd like to take her out on a few dates.
Can I play let me play devil's advocate, man. Sometimes that might be the best foundation for a relationship. You know, you've watched her blossom into this beautiful young woman. Maybe you were a babysitter. I don't know.
Well,
could be a good foundation is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you've known her for a while, then fuck, you know, maybe you're like, shit, I like this girl.
Bottom line though, have the conversation with the boy. You
have to, bro. You have to. Or if it's gonna hurt the relationship with your mate.
Is there any world where he's gonna be like, yeah, bro, go hard?
Well, if you're a good guy, he will.
Of course, yeah.
If you're a good guy, if you're a scumbag like yourself or like the other boys in the office, then definitely
seen
not.
Too much, bro.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you let me date your sister? Let me finish the question.
I don't have to.
Would you let me date your sister?
No, I've seen too much, bro. Wouldn't do it.
Well, that's awkward. That's awkward.
That's awkward because I like her.
Yeah. I mean, do you have a sister?
No, it's steady on either.
Yeah. Well, I would try and date your sister.
I know you would.
Just because it's the way that your family is, the way you are. I'd try.
I want to be a part of
it. No, I'm joking.
All right, let's finish off with one more here. It's a bit of a heavy question, so stay with me here as well. Jordan Simi, I have a legit dilemma. This is a legit dilemma too. I found out my fiance has a Tinder profile. We're getting married at the end of the year. I know this is a heavy one.
Hold up.
She goes on to say, I know this is a heavy one for Jordan's room, but she obviously doesn't know which episode she's getting into here. So, but she says here, do I put the cunt on blast in front of everyone or ask him point blank one-on-one? I have no idea what to do, and it's throwing off all of the wedding preps, as it probably should.
Ooh, yeah, for sure.
Fiance's on Tinder. What do you do?
Well, there's two scenarios here, right? It could be. Let me just quickly think about this before I chuck stuff out there, Willie.
This is like someone's marriage here, man.
Someone's marriage. All right. This is what I mean, man. These questions I've got someone's fucking.
Their future in your hands, bro.
I've got someone's wedding life in my hands right now. I could fucking destroy it. I feel like Thanos right now. Oh man, this is we're walking on eggshells, bro.
Fiance's on
I
Tinder.
think break up with him. Nah. I would say this, right? There's two scenarios.
Could it be like an old account?
It could be an old account that he hasn't deactivated.
If they're engaged, yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're engaged, or even if you've got if I've got a girlfriend,
yeah,
I'm deleting it because you're always wondering, like you're always going to have a look on it. It's like Instagram. You're just like, jump on it. Oh, sweet. Fucking.
Yeah. Fucking Tanita's hit me up.
Shanique was fucking liked my photo. She's hot. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's all, you're always like, that's always going to interfere in your relationship, like in your mind, which you might not know, but it does. So I would say, have the conversation with him, sit him down and just say, hey, listen, like it's been brought to my attention that you've got your Tinder profile.
Fuck hard not to come at that conversation emotionally too.
Yeah, I would say I would say you've just got to step out of your shell. Like you've got to step out like have a third person's point of view.
Yeah.
Third person's perspective and say, hey, listen, I've come across your Tinder profile. My friends found it.
She hasn't said that, but I would assume that's what's happening.
Well, yeah. So she's got a Tinder profile too.
Yeah, true.
So it's like you have to ask him point blank, and it's either you're going to trust him and say, oh shit, like I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Or you're going to say, hey, can I have a look and see if you've been talking to anyone? I feel like if it was me and my chick had a Tinder profile and we were like engaged, I would say, let me have a look at it. And then my initial reaction would be, if she was hesitant about that, then I would be like, no, you've lost me.
Yeah.
Because if they're like, no, like, oh, no, I'll just delete it. If there's anything recent during that relationship, that's fucked.
You know, I like to play devil's advocate with this stuff.
Of course.
I'm not taking a side.
No.
Let me go hypothetical with you. Could it be a situation like maybe he's a bit freaked, a bit spooked, a bit cold feety about the wedding, and maybe he's done something stupid like download Tinder and chatted to a few girls?
It could, that could be.
Not that that's an excuse, but I'm just trying to
give
the guy the benefit of the doubt.
No, that could be the situation.
Yeah.
That could be the situation. So you have to just look at it. If you can be mature about the situation and not like let emotions take over too much and just say, listen, okay, well, something's missing from our relationship. You know, if you're looking elsewhere, let's work on it. Or you could just be like, fuck this cunt, I'm out. You know, it all comes down to self-worth. And, you know, so I would most likely look at it and just go, okay, shit, like,
benefit of the doubt up front, but
yeah, I'd just say knock it on the head straight away and just say, let me either have a look at it or trust him and say, like, we're getting married soon, delete that shit and let's move forward. But I feel like as a guy, definitely you should delete it because it's just, you're always going to be looking. If he has been talking to someone, then
you hurt yourself a situation.
That hurts, It's fucked.
That's fucked.
It's a little bit disgusting, actually. Cheating's actually, I hate cheaters.
I know you do.
So that's one thing I just won't stand for. All right, in Jordan's room. If you're a cheater, then
you got no place on this podcast.
Don't fucking watch this, you cheating bastards.
We've got a lot of questions from cheaters coming in as well, which we'll get to next week.
Fucking cheaters of doom. And then, you know what the funny thing is? People actually think I play up. I'm as loyal as a fucking Labrador, man. You won't catch me playing up.
Nah. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning into Jordan's Room Isolation Edition.
Thank you.
You got another one back to back this afternoon as well. So
yeah, man. We got Teagues coming on.
Yeah.
From My FM.
Shout out Auckland City.
Yeah. Shout out. So that's going to be an exciting one. Just have a little giggle with her.
Yep.
And we'll be on here next week.
You want to sing us out?
Tell me something, girl. Are you tired of living in this modern world?